Welcome to 35 to 1 Roulette Cruising. We've got a subscriber strategy sent over to us. It's called Easy Rider Part 2. Let's check it out. Okay, so Mike sent this strategy over to me. He said he had seen it over on the All in Black channel on YouTube, and it's called Easy Rider Part 2. And the setup for it is pretty much you're going to be betting the high side of the table, and then if that misses a few times, I'll put the graphic up right here. So you'd put 1 unit on the high, which is 19 to 36. And if that loses, then you put 2. If that loses, you put 3. If that loses, you put 3 here and 2 corners. And then 5 units, 4 corners, and 7 units, 6 corners. And then after that, you continuously add the highest unit. So you'd have 7 and basically 6 corners. You'd add another 7 and 6 corners. So it'd make 14 here and 12 out here. And then you'd have 21, 18. So it could get real expensive real fast if it continuously hits down here in the low numbers. So that's kind of what we're hoping won't happen. This wouldn't be anything that I would probably play on the ship, because the minimum on the ship, the minimum outside is $10. Okay, so which means this is going to get real expensive real fast. So if you're playing dollar units and you can put $1 out here, it might be something I might would try out. But to go one cycle before we start having to add 7 units apiece, we'd bet $130 to the highest point. So that's 6 steps in, you'd bet $130. I'm going to buy in for $1,000, and that's only going to allow us to go 8 steps. So we're going to see if it'll work. We're going to see how it goes. I think we need to establish a walk-away with this strategy. I'm not sure if this is for comps or not, because the way the units increase and then they decrease, so you would hate to have your comp value or your rating low when you're betting so high throughout the strategy. Now it'd be nice if they would have your comp value up high and then reduce it down, of course. But let's run it through. Let's see what happens. We're going to give every one of them a chance. We're going to try. I'm not going to say we're going to go 30 spins with it, but we're going to try to go 20 if we can, or we're going to have a walk away. So at $1,000, let's set a walk away of we're going to set a walk away of $200. So if I get in profit $200, we'll cash out, and we'll see how long it goes and how much money we can make off of it. So anyway, so this is called Easy Rider Part 2. And I'm going to keep my paper here so I can kind of keep up with what I've got here. So I have $1,000 right here. Remember, on the ship, you got to give them your cash plus your C-Pass card. That's how you get your points on the cruise, okay? They'll give you C-Pass back. All right, so there's $1,000. We're going to play with cash chips on this one. So here we go. So we have $400 in red chips, which are $500 a piece, and we have $600 in green chips, which are $25 a piece. All right, so here we go. So our first bet is going to be $10. All right, $10 on high. And this will be our first spin. And so remember, our walk away is going to be $200, or 20 spins. Let's just say 20 spins right now. All right, so 21. All right, so that's a win there. So that is a $10 profit. So we'll bring that back to our rack. Okay, double zero. Okay, so we lost there. Now, step 2, we go $20 on the high. So there's $20. All right, 2, Okay, that's a loss there. All right, now we go $30. All right, so there's 30. All right, there's 30. All right, so here we had $30 here. So there's 20 and 30. So pretty much we just got back what we lost. All right, and we're going to reduce it back down to $10 and back up to step 1. All right, 32. So that's a $10 profit there. Bring that back to our rack. Okay, 16. Okay, so that's a loss there. All right, so now we'll go to step 2, which is $20. Okay, 35. Okay, it's $20 there, so that is a $20 win. I'm going to reduce it back down to step 1 of $10. Okay, 24. That's a win here. Bring that back to our rack. Okay, 2. That's a loss there. So now we're going up to step 2, which is $20. Okay, 31. So there is that $20 win right there. We're going to reduce it back down to 10. Bring this back to our rack. Okay, here we go. On spin 11. Okay, double zero. That's a loss there. And we're going to $20 on the high here. Okay, 14. It's a loss here. Now we're going up to $30. Okay, 31. All right, so there's that $30 win. Reduce it back down to $10. Okay, 19. Okay, that's a win there. So there's a $10 win. Bring that back to our rack. All right, 19 again. So that's a $10 win there. All right, 27. So another $10 win. Okay, 19 again. All right, that's another $10 profit there. All right, 9. All right, so that's a loss there. Then we go up to $20. Okay, 5. All right, so loss there. And then we go up to 30. So this is spin number 20. Let's see, let's go ahead. We're going to go ahead and go out to 30 spins with it. It's holding up pretty good right now. I just want to run it, and I want to get into the higher bets if we can. Okay, 21. All right, that's a win there. Let's say $30 win. We reduce it back down to $10 there. Okay, 35. That's a $10 win there. Okay, 15. So that's a loss there. I'm going to go 20. Okay, 14. So loss there. And we're going up to 30. Okay, 10. All right, so that's a loss of 30 there. So now we're going to step 4, which is $30 right here. And then we're going to go $10 on 2 corners. Okay. And you could pick, I think you could pick any corners from 19 to 34, you know, in this block here. You could pick any 2 corners you wanted. I'm just going to start down there, and then we're going to work our way across, okay? Okay, 16. All right, so that's a loss right there. All right, so here we go. So now we got to go to $50 on the 19 to 36, and then we're going to go $10 on 4 corners. So $10 on 4 corners. Okay, 8. Okay, so that's a loss there. All right, next step is $70 on 19 to 36. And then we're going to go $10 on 6 corners. Okay. All right, there we go. So right now we have $130 out on the table. Okay, 32. Okay, so that's perfect because that's what we wanted to hit. One of those in that middle column, they pay the highest. Okay, so let's see if we recover all of our money. Okay, so let's start with this. So there is that right there. Let's see, so this is going to pay, all right, there's 16 chips there. And then 16 chips for that one, okay? So we didn't even recover everything we needed to recover, all right? But, you know, we had a good win, so we're going to drop it back down to $10 here on this 19 to 36. We'll bring all of our chips back to our rack and go back to step 1. All right, 18, that's a loss there. Now we got to go up to $20. $5. All right, lost that $20. Got to go to 30. And this is spin 30. So we've survived 30 spins, but we really haven't made much profit. I mean, we are in profit, but not very much. Okay, 21. Okay, so there we go. There's that win. So we've gone 30 spins with the Easy Rider Part 2 strategy. And let's see, so we started with $1,000. So there is $1,000 right here. All right, so we're at $90 profit. So in 30 spins, $90 profit. We were shooting for 200, but we went all the way up to step 6 of this strategy. So we had $130 out on the table at that one time. But you know, we didn't recover everything that we had bet to get to that point. Okay. I don't know. This one's a tough one for me because you've got to buy in for so high. And if you was to try to play this on a cruise ship, you know, I typically wouldn't play with that kind of bankroll. You guys know me well enough that I don't play that high. But anyway, does it have potential? Yeah, it does. But we had a lot of wins early on just staying in the highs. That $10 win, $10 win, $10 win. And I think that's all the profit that you can make off of this strategy is about $10. So I don't know if I would play this strategy or not. It bought us time at the table, of course, but as far as comp value goes for this strategy, you're starting at $10 and then $20, $30, and then you have $50 out there to $90 and $130. So it's kind of all over the place. So I don't know where your rating would be for this strategy. If you stayed at $10 a lot, then that would only be, $10 average. So I don't think this is really a comp strategy. As far as comp value goes, I'm going to give this a 2. All right. I wouldn't play this for any kind of comp value. As far as profitability goes, a $10 win is not much of a profit, by how much money you're putting out on the table. Like I said, we went all the way up to step 6. We had $130 out on the table, and we only profited $120. So we actually still lost $10. So I really don't like the profitability of this strategy. So profitability, I'm going to give it a 2. There's a chance there, but not much of a chance. Now maybe if we run this out longer, maybe it would kind of get into something that looks like it was profit, but based on what I'm seeing, you got time at the table, but you're not making any profit. Okay. And as far as ease of setup goes, it's not that difficult to play. Maybe if you had it written down like this and kind of, kept up with it while you were playing, it's not that difficult to set up because you're only betting here most of the time, and you could change it up if you wanted. You could bet low or you could bet high. You could, pick whichever side's more comfortable for you. Maybe if you're sitting on this end of the table, you would play the highs. Maybe if you're sitting on this end of the table, you could play the lows. Okay. So as far as ease of setup goes, I'll give this one a 4. It's pretty easy to set up. As far as the flow goes, it would be pretty easy to keep up with it. So if you had something written down, of course, you're not really working on trying to find a bunch of different numbers. So this was pretty easy to set up. But anyway, so that is the Easy Rider Part 2 strategy from the All on Black channel that Mike sent us over to try out. Mike, I appreciate it. But if you guys have a strategy you guys want me to try out, want me to test out, send it to me at roulettecruising@gmail.com. I like to have a $300 to $400 buy-in, and I'll try to go 20 to 30 spins with it. And usually if it don't work out with one session, I'll try to go 2 sessions with it. But if you don't mind, make sure to like this video and subscribe to 35 to 1 Roulette Cruising. And until next time, happy cruising. We'll see you. Bye.